Hey everybody, it's me, Generic Pie, and I'm back with another episode of Peepin Tom Bombadil today, where I peep on other people's games from the Discord server and breathe. And as you may have noticed, this one's a little bit different. We're getting WoME, people. I've drunk the Kool-Aid, I've gone down the rabbit hole, I've been cajoled, and willingly entered the world of Warriors of Middle-earth. Um, so yeah, after the podcast episode I did with the Fat Hobbit a little while ago, he was talking about it and he really like piqued my interest. I'd always kind of thought I'll probably play WoME someday, but hearing him describe it got me quite excited. And then I started playing some more LOME against Mark M, and he's a big proponent of WoME. And I thought, hey, why the hell not? I started watching Romsteel's excellent videos. I highly recommend watching those if you don't know much about WoME. They're a really good kind of starting point. And I got a bit intrigued. So I played my first ever WoME game recently against Mark M, which was fun. Decent enough game. I was thinking about making a video of it, but then Venali contacted me um, saying that they'd played a game against Vase recently, and this is a LOME and WoME game. So I was like, it's a sign I should do a video commentary of that one instead. So disclaimer, I don't know WoME that well. Like I know the basics, but there's a lot of cards I've never seen before. So I'll be kind of like watching and learn. I know like enough, I think, to get through this commentary, but but I'll also be learning. So hopefully that will make it a little bit less, a little bit more of a kind of an entry point for those of you that also don't know Warriors of Middle Earth. A lot of you have probably already turned off this video and can't even hear what I'm saying right now. But I'll try to explain some of the basics as I go, so that you can also kind of come along for the ride, and maybe you too will get interested in Warriors of Middle Earth, because it is quite big and sprawling and confusing. But once you get your head around the basics, it's not that crazy. So I'll do like a mini kind of overview at the top. So basically, the main difference in WoME is that you have factions. So the free people have three factions. So you have the Eagles, you have the Ents, and you have the dead men, and they can be brought into the game with a muster die if certain criteria are met. So, for example, like the dead men can only be done when like Strider or Aragorn is like round here. Um, so it might be Aragorn, it might be Strider, I can't remember. But anyway, when Stridery stuff is going on, right? One in every however many games you get Aragorn gets down to Dalamoth. You can start bringing in the dead men. Equally for the shadow, you have the spiders, you have the Dunlendings, and you have the Corsairs. So all the cards that relate to these respective factions, such as Corsairs of Umbar, that's gone. In its place, you have a faction deck, which includes kind of specific cards, such as this. So this is a spider-related faction card. So as you can see here, it's one character, one strategy, one faction. And then this is a little bit confusing, but like basically these 6 cards at the bottom, you can kind of ignore them. But these are the combat cards for the respective factions. They stay here, but they're very, you can pretend they're not there for the vast majority of the game. It's only when there's actually like a combat happening that involves factions that these ones actually become relevant. Whereas this one can be played with an army die at any point if the criteria are met. So yeah, so that's the essentials. Anything else that comes up, I will kind of dive into it. There's also just a bunch of new cards as well, which are cool. A prime example of which, though you may have heard of this one, even if you haven't played Warriors of Middle Earth, is the Western Way. You put this on a table, and then it acts as like a little portal / boat. So when like the hobbits, they instead of going this way, they go this way towards Grey Havens, and they hop on a little boat, and then they pop out like in, I don't know, like Peligir, I guess, maybe Westeronda or something, and they go head over to Minas Morgul. And it's very, I've never done it myself. I've heard it can be really annoying if you can't get into Grey Havens. You like bounce off this a bunch of times and people go insane. But what a great card, very exciting. So that's cool. So yeah, and let's get into the game. Otherwise, I'll be here all day. This is the third time I've tried to do this video. Stuff keeps on going wrong. I keep accidentally, viewing the passwords wrong and seeing the wrong cards, or pausing at the wrong time. Anyway, so let's give it a go. I'm going to try and not screw it up this time. So, Venali rolls a bunch of musters. And Vase gets this beautifully symmetrical roll with the Sea of Hybrids. And Venali says, you see, that's how we know this game's going to be an epic game. So yeah, this kind of roll can mean you get a very epic game. Slow game, but an epic game. So the elves go down one step, uses the token to get Isengard to war, passes, Saruman goes to Orthanc. Not always an early thing in Loam, but in this game, you know, given the circumstances, why not? Army moves to Western Met and to Old Forest Road. Sauron goes to war. The elves go one step away from war. Pits of Mordor is played. Lovely early cards. Mustered in Gundabad Moria and Dol Guldur. Iron Hills goes to Erebor. And the little North Downs fella rides up to Ettenmoor. Ettenmoors. And then we get some pretty standard army movements near Harad and Gorgoroth. And then with the final die, yeah, I mean, what are you even going to do with this? You don't want to get these guys to war just yet, I don't think. Maybe you do. But anyway, makes perfect sense to use a ring to move the Fellowship. Could be big if they get hidden revealed here. This would be, you know, early chiefy. There's no trip to venting today, says Venali. Indeed. And Gothamog is mustered with the final die into Minas Morgul, and we go on to turn number 2. Right, so yeah, so you draw one of each of the 3 types of cards. So we get a help and looked for. You take someone you can trust. So this is a cool card. You put it on the table. If the hobbits from the Fellowship, you can block a reveal. You can't block the tile, but you can block the reveal element of a tile. So that's great for blocking the chief. Really, really nice early card, I imagine. Never played it myself. The Shadow gets On They Went and Great Winged Creatures, which is another cool card. That means that every army you have that has a Nazgul in it gets another Nazgul added to it. How many Nazguls are actually in the Force Ball? So you could muster all of the other Nazguls if you had 4 armies with Nazgul in it. So like Nazgul Mania. If unfortunately you need everyone at war, but if you could get Southrons to war early, you got 4 armies with Nazgai in them. This would be great. Another great early card, if kind of maybe, yeah. One I added to the box, no more rolled. Very character heavy roll for Venali, and then this kind of mixed roll for Vase. Gandalf betrays the Fellowship, and you know the ring. He looks into the ring or something. I don't know how it works with those rings. Quite confusing things they are. But anyway, he's a naughty Gandalf. A card is drawn. It's Stormcrow using the Gothmog die. Venali starts making a dash towards Lorien. Leaves a little fella behind. Why not? Because you're going to be overstocked otherwise. Groups up in... Wait, what just happened there? All right. The other army move was from Gorgoroth to Morannon. Cool. So Vase gets the take someone you can trust card onto the board, which makes perfect sense. Don't want to do that before you move the Fellowship. Joins up armies in Dimral Dale. Fellowship moves. They are hit. It's a 1. So tricky one because you probably don't want to kill Gandalf for a 1. But on the other hand, a nice tile. So yeah, mixed feelings about that one. Lorien is attacked. Interesting. The elves go to war. Vase says, decides to go for Galadriel, which is kind of... I mean, I totally get it. You want to try and save Lorien. If you can get this to work, you can hold Lorien and make Lorien a complete nightmare for the Shadow for like the whole game. If it doesn't work, it really sucks. But yeah, I get it. So yeah, Galadriel comes into play in Lorien, and Venali wisely tries to take Lorien down ASAP. So yes, with these cards, I think what I would do is, okay, you've got the Durin's Bane, you've got the Relentless Assault. Probably play the Relentless Assault first while you've got a big army, and then you got to play the Durin's Bane, right? Finish off that bad boy. Great Host is good as well. Meanwhile, you've got a No Quarter or a Daring Defiance. I don't know how strong the Western Weight actually is if people play it all the time. But you could play that. Now you've got Galadriel in there potentially. Or you could play a no quarter. No core against Relentless. Puts 2 dudes down. Rolls 3 hits. That's good. That's solid. And Vase only gets 1 back +1 from Renault Quarter, but you'd be probably hoping for like 3 hits there, I think, at least. So not the best, but not horrendous, but definitely not good. So only 2 schmucks left in Lorien. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Galadriel's not looking good here. Not looking good. So Venali presses naturally, chooses a card, character card. It is Durin's Bane. Gets 1 hit and then rolls another. So that is a short life. I've rarely seen a more sad Galadriel. So yeah, sad times for Vase. Taken in 1 fell swoop. But yeah, solid cards for that for Venali. I think well played. Right, so Miranda moves up to Daggerlad using a character die. On they went, goes into the pool. We get what's going on here. Gondor goes 1 step closer to war. I think that makes sense, given Gondor is clearly going to have some action pretty soon. And using the muster, you could get the OG Witch King, or you could do something else. Instead, decides to get the Dunlandings in the game. Yeah. So, do we have any Dunlandingy cards? We don't, but maybe hoping to get some Dunlandingy cards. Oh wait, what am I talking about? I'm looking at the wrong decks. Spider cards. Yeah. So no Dunlandingy cards, just the Corsairs and the Spider card. Until recently, I always kind of figured in my mind, because I didn't really think much about the Dunlandings before I played War of the Ring. I just assumed that they were like little goblin fellas. But no, they're just a bunch of hairy men with pitchforks and stuff. So I was kind of slightly disappointed to find that out. But you know, you got to find out Santa's not real one day. So yeah, so what happens when you play this muster? You bring in a faction, and then you get a faction die, which is this lovely orange thing. We'll go into that in a second. So basically, I'll wait for the rolls first. Right, so the 3 people have 1 as well. But basically, the shadow one has an eye on one side, and then all the other sides of the die are like faction-related things. You can either like draw a card, you can recruit, you can play a card. These are all like faction cards. Yeah, so they're kind of, it's the faction die. In terms of normal cards, the Shadow have just drawn Cruel Weather and Hill Trolls and another spidery card. Meanwhile, the 3 people have drawn Imrahil, Dalamroth, Axe and Bow, and one of these kind of, this is a card that can be used with all of the various factions. Right, so a very eye-heavy roll. Looks like Gandalf probably will die this turn, especially given Vase has rolled a ton of character dice. Gandalf has not betrayed, but he's given you a slightly rubbish card. Die, sorry. So uses that to draw a card, draws into speed. Smeagol helps Nice Master. I mean, I guess that's... In this turn, you probably don't want to move too much against 3 eyes, so you can play Smeagol, you could play Axe and Bow, whichever you fancy, or both, perhaps. Right, so armies move to Umbar and No Man Lands. Southrons go 1 step closer to war. Passes. Southern goes all the way to war, which means you can get a very good usage of. Oh, did we use that card? Oh yeah, maybe that was a Relentless Assault. Okay, I thought we could use that cool mustering. Now it's called mustering card. Axe and Bow goes on the board. Right, so this what this die now does is it's being used to recruit. So recruiting some Corsairs to Umbar. You get 3 of these, as you can't quite see it here, but I think there's 3 little ships hanging out in Umbar. Very exciting. The fellowship moves. They are hit. It's an eye. 1 reveal. I can only use 1 card right. That's correct. So you can't use, you take someone you trust and Axe and Bow. So gives up, take someone you can trust, so that the that Vase is not revealed into Moria, which is great. Aha, but a cheeky Balrog, a wild Balrog has appeared. Okay, things are getting spicy. All right, so now, affronted by this Balrog appearance, Strider's made a dash south to, how do you say this one? Druaithlo. Venali says fun. Yes, very fun. No Man Land's army marches upwards. Strider finishes his mission all the way to Dol Amroth. And Stormcrow is used on Gondor. And a single reg dies. Where did he come from? One of the Osgiliath regs. We go on to turn number 4. Let's see what the cards are. So the 3 people have got Book of Mazarbul and Wizard's Staff. Okay, well, if you want to keep this wizard, I feel like he might have a long life. But that's probably why, equally why, Vase has prioritized getting this fella down here. Needs to roll a will. Very important to roll a will. But yeah, desperate to get up to 5 dice, I imagine. Now you have 2 routes to it. What else have we got? Do we have any? So no cards that directly relate. Oh, here we go. Okay, so no cards that directly, because now that this goes down here, you could get the whatchamacallums, the dead men involved, which is exciting. Meanwhile, the Shadow have Return to Valna, Ista's Bane, and the new Shelob's Lair kind of card. Right, so a Balrog Eye goes in here. No will, sadly, for Vase. He says, damn it,
a king is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Northern Ravanian army, sorry, Southern Ravanian moves to Northern Ravanian, and Nirn moves to Gorgoroth. Musters in the Woodland Realm. Attacks into Old Forest Road using a character die. North goes 1 step down. Scouts away. Very nice, very nice. Another Elven Elite must into Woodland Realm, so we've got a fully stocked Woodland Realm now. Now that the 3 people have no more musters, there's not such a rush to get Woodland Realm under siege. Also, at this point, do the 3 people even want to put another elite in here? Is it even efficient? Maybe they don't anyway, so there's even less reason to rush. What else moved? South Dunland. Okay, so this army's coming down here with a cheeky little Dunlanding, which is interesting. Okay, so even though you don't have any of like the major Dunlanding cards, Venali could play one of these Dunlanding cards, which are such as play if the Dunlings are in the same region as the Shadow Army, and the Shadow Army are not under siege. Eliminate one of these Dunlandings to cancel 1 hit. So these are kind of acting like as a bit of a meat shield for Orthanc in theory. I'm not going to go through all the cards right now, but that's just a little taster of what the Dunlandings could do. Right, so this little fella moves into Carrick to stop that being a thing. The North goes 1 step away from war, so I think Venali's going to have to take Dale. Black Sails goes on the board. So play of the set of the Kunstler's Roman plate. You may use any... I'm just going to read this. Okay, so basically it allows to recruit more Corsairs. Using a faction die. So we'll see what happens with that faction die in a minute. Wizard Staff's put on the table. The Chief is also never late, right? Dale is attacked. Yes, I guess Venali was thinking that it's quite unlikely to have 2 scouts already, so Dale should be safe if you can roll a 6. Don't know if they'll play a card or not. No card. Cannot roll the 6, so that's probably going to go to Erebor, I guess. Yep. But up to 3 victory points, relatively fast. The Fellowship moves. They are hit. Wizard's Staff is sacrificed. So 4 moves. Don't have to worry about that cheeky Balrog. Fellowship's making not very quick progress, but safe progress, which allows, even though Gimli and Striders, that's 5 HP have gone, it's not having such a big issue. Right. So yes, you can using that faction die because of Black Sails can now muster. So there's up to 4 Corsairs in Umbar. Go for the 3P military victory. You want to. Of course, but I really think the Shadowplay decides that. Yeah, I suppose there's a point. The Shadowplay can be the one that decides whether 3P military is actually an option or not. Vase decides to chance it. Oh, yeah. Little does Vanani know, but Vase has the Western way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 6 to get cleanly into Grey Havens. But if you can get to Tower Hills, you're only 1 away. That's pretty good. Oh, and he rolls Snake Eyes. Vanali rolls Snake Eyes. So the Western way could be really good this game. Or maybe if it's a quicker, you just go the normal way. I don't know. Hill Trolls into Dell to make this army super big. And we go on to turn number 5. So the Shadow gets Shadow of Dol Guldur and the Nazgul Strike. So these are cards that could potentially be quite annoying for weather, and the Nazgul Strike could be very annoying for the Western way, I think. And meanwhile, the 3 people get Long Battle. I need to read this card quickly. Okay, so this is a very uninspired name for a card, I must say. So it feels like a bit of a working title, just Dimrill of Dramroth. By chance or by foresight. Long Battle. Not the most exciting one, but yeah, it seems like a bit of a niche card. If you've got a 3 people's army with leadership, you can eliminate faction dudes that are on there. So if you've got like faction spiders or up to mischief around the place, you could get rid of them. Could get rid of a ton of Corsairs, I guess, in theory. Although I think Corsairs tend to stay with the armies, so I don't know. I always get Thranduils. Maybe useful, probably not. Right, gets rid of the Union of all our strength. Okay, so decides to get rid of the Balrog 1. And again, quite a varied role. Quite a lot you can do with that. Finally, a will, crucially for the 3 people. So if you separate Gandalf to Dalaran, you can flip both at the same time in Java. That's pretty sexy. I would like to see that happen someday. It's a shame you can't play 2 wills at once. But anyways, Aragorn comes into play. Woodland Realm is put under siege, leaving 1 little schmuck behind in Dale. The Fellowship moves. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be enough to get into Grey Havens. They are hit. It's a reveal. Oh, the dream is dead. The dream is dead. He says good stuff. Presumably. Oh, risking the old B-Rog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clearly Vase feels, I guess with the Balrog, it's not such a big deal. Given Gandalf, you kind of don't mind Gandalf dying that much. And you've got Axe and Bow. The nice is you're sure. Balrog, just a 1. Axe and Bow eats the 1. And now hoping for a big fat tile to kill Gandalf. Or like I guess another 0 or something. Then you just keep Gandalf alive. Shmiggy! Oh boy. Gandalf really doesn't want to die today. And you get full value Smeagol. Interesting. Woodland Realm is attacked. Let's have a quick look at the combat card options here. So what's the Shadow got? Mimical no good. Deadly Strife good. You might want to save these crawlers. Yeah. Yeah, with only 2. Yeah, man. Had all those characters but never had the chance to get all of the leadership around. Probably just presuming you'd roll at least 1 character the following round. Could play. I'm thinking if you have a character die here, Would you want to maybe move the Nazgul first before you do it and then get all the rerolls? Because this is a pretty stacked stronghold. And with only 2 dice, especially when your cards are things like Cruel's Death and Deadly Strife, 2 cards that like massively benefit from having leadership, whichever one you decide to play. You're almost pressured into not playing a card here. Meanwhile, the 3 people could play a Valor. Tempting to play a Valor there. Advantageous, maybe. Yeah, okay. I do this sometimes. Probably for all the things I just said, decided not to do that. Now gets the Witch King. Okay, OG Witch King comes into play. Almost forgot to enable cycling. Now we go for the Realm. I think it's much more justified now with 4 leadership. Chooses the strategy card, which I believe with the Deadly Strife. Deadly Strife against Shield Wall. Presumably actually going to get value from Shield Wall there. We get 3. And wow, the big 5 down to 4. Very, very good. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 from Vase. Unlucky. Yeah, big sigh. That's unfortunate to say the least. So now we've got 9 HP against 4. Press and draw. Now 8 versus 4. Cycles into Shadows Gather / Mumakill. So we've got double Mumakill. Question is here, do you no card it or do you play a Cruel's Death? Or even a Black Breath potentially. Goes to okay, I think that's fine. Fellowship's looking pretty stacked. Military's looking decent. Better to probably just try and do things militarily. Gets 2 hits, which is okay. None back for Vase. Sad face. Maybe it is a venting sort of day. No 6 rolled through this entire game. Holy mackerel. We can't see that here. Just another day in the Java life. Yeah. No cards. Finale gets 1 of the 6s that they need. Vase gets 1 back. Press. No card. Trying to just finish it. Needs 1 6 in 9 dice. Does not get it. So. And Vase gets a 6 back. Woohoo! Alright, so presumably this is going to fall. But if Book of Mazarbul were to be played suddenly, this whole situation could get very precarious indeed. So I could see a situation whereby you'd be Shadow Gathering to here. The second Mazarbul gets triggered, you'd basically instantly pressured into doing that play just to defend Dale from this monstrosity. Although if I was the Shadow, I would be sorry. If I was the 3 people, I'd probably wait for just the right moment, let the Shadow use up a bunch of their dice, and then do Mazarbul when they're not expecting it. And then hopefully by that point they won't have the sufficient dice to play Shadows Gather, or they'll have to use an army die to do it, or something like that. Who knows? Maybe there's a Thranduil in your future. That's why I don't complain. Ah, there is. So you did get value for Thranduil. Wow, that's changed things a lot. That was a very good Thranduil. Draws into Tommy B. Elite Mustard in North Rune. I would... yeah. See, when you've got Shadows Gather, I think I'd be inclined to muster in South Rune. Even one behind? Is he guarding something? Is there some treasure here that it needs to be protected? Shenanigans, you'll see. So Vinali's clearly got a plan for this South Runian. Clearly I'm stopping the ultra rare South Rune cities win. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're playing with the cities switched on. I don't know. I didn't even clarify that fact. But let me have a quick check. Actually, I'll pause it. So, okay, I just messaged Vinali, and the cities were not turned on. That was just a joke. Just wanted to make sure, because you know, when you get into this warriors plus lords, maybe they go plus cities and get really perverted. Okay, so we get a super. Okay, big Shadows Gather from here to here. No need to do it to Dale. So that's worked out very nicely. Big for army moves to Wooden Realm. Oh, the Eagles are here. Gah! They appear in Eagles Eyrie. We get the faction die. So let's see what cards. So they got lifted up and far away. Eliminate one eagle to move the fellowship. You can move the fellowship using an eagle. Beautiful. I think that's at speed. Recruit any one eagles, then play the faction event card. Okay, so basically there's a couple of cards that you can do eagerly stuff with. Shadow of Dog. Oops, wrong card. Not legal. Finale attacks Woodland Realm. We get a Moomer kill against Out of High Airs. Okay, I'm just going to read this one. Right, so this is the kind of stuff that the factions can do. So the Eagles, because they're Eagles, they can do stuff within quite a large distance. So within 4 regions, 1, 2, 3, they can basically, you can kind of sacrifice 1 to eliminate, cancel the Nazgul leadership this round. So that could potentially really prolong this fight and really help against the Moomer kill potentially as well. Maybe not. We'll see. Depends a lot on the rolls. So just a 1 hit, but no reroll. And Vase gets 1 hit back. So we'll see what happens. Press draw. Draws into a Great Host. That's a good card for this situation. Does the free people have a card they want to use against it? They do. Advantage against Great Host. This is probably the end for the Woodland Realm finally. Yes, it very much is. Lots of 6s. Vase gets 2 hits back though. So probably going to be safe here now. But if you move all of this except 1 maybe to here, could be in a position where, you know, could still play Mazarbul. Start mustering up dwarves. Could make a mischief of it. Could maybe try and, you know, cause some shenanigans potentially. But up to 5 VPs on turn 5. Looking good for the Shadow so far. So this guy now, the Rune, South Runer, starts heading up to East Rune. Is that guy just to take Iron Hills? But couldn't he have come up earlier anyway? When this army came from here anyway? I don't really understand. Speed greater than any wind. Recruit 1 Eagle's Figure and Eagle's Eyrie. Okay. Then play 1 faction event card. Draw 3 cards in the faction event deck. So draws these 3 cards. Decides to then someone go into the... Okay, anyway, yeah. Gets a card basically. Venali, meanwhile, is mustering Corsair ships down here. It's rather scary. There's lots of big ships there. Aragorn looks quite vulnerable. Yeah, so, I mean, looking at the game right now, with my limited Warriors understanding, it's looking very, very good for the Shadow. Probably just hold this now. But Gondor hasn't really had the chance to do much in the way of mustering. Still nowhere near war. This army's quite big. Yep. I don't know how exactly you're going to get all the other victory points, but yeah, looking good for, in a nutshell, looking good for Shadow. We've gone to turn number 6. The gates are closed as drawn, as is Denthal's Folly, which kind of might push the Shadow towards more going for Minas Tirith, because the Corsairs, even though they are ships, they can only kind of move around these areas of the board, because it's kind of little rivers, if you look closely, little rivers going around the place. Meanwhile, the free people get Círdan ships. Very nice, very nice. And I will go alone. What's the Elven Force Pool like? Fairly limited, but still musterable. All right, Fellowship good. I allocated. Lots of eyes go in here. So no faction stuff happening this turn for the Shadow. And we get a very binary roll. Lots of characters, lots of musters, and 1. This is a recruit or a card draw with the faction die. Fellowship is flipped in Eastern Met. We'd use standard Saruman ability to muster an Orthanc. Tough call. You could very easily switch shenanigans position. I get it. The way it seems like it's going, I may have to. So Venani's worried about shenanigans. Personally, I don't see what... I mean, I don't know what the shenanigans would be given the position of the free people, but again, this could be some more like warrior specific stuff I'm missing. But with these musters, I guess you can... But you can't even. You have to just get the Gondor to war. And it's a big blessing for the free people that Finale doesn't have a lot of attacks this turn, I guess. So anyway, the Fellowship moves. They hit once. It's an eye. One reveal. Fellowship is revealed into Western Emyn Muil. Ford's attacked. Rohan goes down one. We get Old Hatred. Good old hatred. Give me a second. So basically, you roll a die for every done and ding, and if you roll a 6, then they get a hit. And if you roll a 1, oh no, they don't die for a 1. That's a different card I was thinking of. It seems like it's okay. It's okay. You know, the done and dings are probably not going to do much, but could do. Could do. So yeah, it's like a basically it's like a sudden strike against a stronghold, a siege kind of thing. But Venali doesn't matter. Rolls a bunch of 6s in the next batch. I suppose in this situation where you're just trying to kill these guys, it has additional value because you only need to get 2 hits. So just getting 1 6 from one of these done and things could be really valuable. So very nice. Any end cards here? Or are the end cards all removed? I can't remember actually. Maybe you need actual real ents to do the enting rather than end cards. So maybe leaving this fella all on his own is much less of a concern. This could, however, open up the door to shenaniganery by doing this. So we'll see. Use the ring to use a hybrid die to defend Helm's Deep and also get this Etten Moors dude towards Rivendell because obviously limited elven mustering capabilities left. Ooh, okay, that is interesting. That is interesting. So going for trying to take. Oh, okay. So I guess what Venali's trying to do is take over Rohan. Using this very small army, trying to do your due diligence, take over the whole of Rohan before you open up a world of pain. But you've got 1 ring, so you can muster. But in a game where the free people are fairly desperate, and I'd say the shadow is quite ahead, it feels like it's opening up a door here and a potential backdoor way into the game, just a way of wasting time for the free people, because all it would take is them to just they can't though, can they? They can't because there's no leader here. So maybe you're safe, but I'm a bit wary. Could see something happening here, but maybe Venali's thought it all through. The Rohan are now at war. They can muster, so I guess then we get an attack using the ring to put Helm's Deep. Okay, Venali has thought it all through. That was beautiful. Beautifully done. Take it all back. I will go alone as played. A pesky hobbit appears into Fangorn. No ents. Okay, but maybe there's an ent. Maybe you can muster an ent using this and then destroy Orthanc next turn or something. Corruption goes down as well. Venali draws a card, draws the Day Without Dawn. An ent is mustered. Right, so, okay, so maybe in order to get the ent... Okay, I think I'm remembering this now. In order to bring the ents into play, you need to have a companion in Fangorn, I'm guessing. Obviously, the Gandhi man is otherwise preoccupied, on just determined not to die today. So that is put a spanner in the works. So yes, there was... I mean, that was quite an unlikely turn of events, but this is the kind of thing I'd be concerned about. Because now, presumably, first move next turn, Vase might be able to stomp on old Saruman. The gates are closed as played. Turn 7, his Will and Malice. Orc Patrol, Olokai. 3 people get safe paths in the dark. And the last battle. Huge and Horrible is discarded. The Western Way. Ooh, obviously way too late for that. Okay, so a ton of eyes rolled. Yeah, awkward roll here. Awkward roll here for the shadow. You don't want to have this lots of eyes in a game like this. Okay, so basically, Venali was just like giving up Saruman, thinking, but apparently you can't actually legally kill him right now because you have to actually have 3 Ents to do it. You can take the last end out of Entwood to attack, but not to march. Okay, right. So basically, march of the Ents. Take an Ent figure from the Entwood to march the Ents, or eliminate an Ent figure from the Entwood to attack a Shadow Army. So basically, if you can do that into Orthanc, it kills Saruman. So the way the Ents work is they chain. They chain across the board. You muster them, they move them, and then they chain. If you chain them into an empty Orthanc, you kill the wizard. So it's a bit more cumbersome than the old Ent cards in base or normal loam. But yeah, so you need, if you can go, one can go here, but you need a 3rd Ent to actually kill the bad boy. However, he can muster an Ent using this die, and then I think can play. But okay, but then this army. Okay, so that's blocks it. And then with the 2nd army die moves Umbar up to West Horondor. Fellowship's flipped. Another Dunlanding is mustered in Helm's Deep, I think. Right, so an eagle swoops down, lifts up the hobbits, doesn't take them very far. Just like, it's like, could you take us to Mordor? And it's like, nah, it's too risky. I'm just going to take you to, like, Eastern Emyn Muil. So, yeah, very, very safe. Excellent work, Mr. Eagle. Olokai is played into Helm's Deep. Nice one. Elrond is mustered, so we get an extra die. Helm's Deep is attacked. Pretty small army here. Yeah, this is feeling a bit risky. Especially given the precarious situation with these pesky Ents. Let's see what they go for. Devery of Orthanc is advantageous. Beautiful. Relying on the 6s. Okay, take it all back. Venali's rolled in like a demon. Vase rolls 4 back. Sorry, rolls 4 dice and gets none. Going to turn myself into the poolies. So yeah, this is like venting territory, certainly. That's pretty rough. If that falls, Venali's up to 8. Looking like like, is that GG? Old Hatred is played again. 3, no hits. 1, rolls 1 too many, but 1's a reroll. Plus another one, so 2 hits in total. Vase gets 1 back. So you're going to press, presumably, try and finish the job. Old Hatred is back again. Still, yeah, Old Hatred's not doing much. These pitchforks ain't doing anything. But anyway, Rohan has fallen. What can men do against such reckless 6s? Too easy. Good question. So, yep. Unless something major happens, I might just report this as a friendly. Yeah. So, yeah. Is that not up? So, what are we up to on victory points now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There should be 8 victory points now. Anyway, the Fellowship move again. Probably out of desperation as much as anything. And 1. Oh, it's still on 6s. Because the Eagle move didn't put it onto 5s. So that's pretty nice. So the Fellowship now in like Daggerlad or North Athenian in theory. Nazgul Strike. Yeah, piece of crap. Hunt roll. Triple. Oh, okay. Only, so just a 1. Just a 1. How come the Fellowship moved then without... I'm a bit confused, so give me 1 sec. Why did the C die not go into the... Oh, used Elrond's ability to bring the die back. Okay, trying to get into Mordor this turn. I understand now. I understand. So technically now 1 reveal, yeah, because of Elrond. Yeah. So that was big, actually. Very, very big that Elrond's die did not go into this stay into there. But what was the tile? It was an eye, so that's very, very unfortunate. Otherwise, the Fellowship would have certainly got into Mordor this round. Alas, they will not. They'll be sat here in North Ithilien. Moves up the victory points to 8. So yeah, if you take this, then all you need to do is get the Shire and you've won the game. It's going to be tricky to get the Shire with Grey Havens and Ered Luin next door, so that's going to be probably not a high priority. So probably looking at, I'd go for Minas Tirith, I think. You know, you've got these guys, 10 HP here, 10 HP here. Do you still have... No, you got rid of Denethor's Folly, understandably, but that looks like the way to go, I think. Just got to watch out for a big Aragorn army mustering, but you could take your time, do a bit of mustering. You know, I think they're looking okay, looking good. Okay, so now, yeah, Fellowship is taking some drastic action, separating some chaps into Minas Tirith. Gileath's attack, trying to get that under siege ASAP, presumably. All patrol, sorry, Crawler's Death is played. Kills the Osgiliath guy. Gondor goes to war, and we go on to turn number 8. So that allows, we can get 1 muster into Minas Tirith at the first thing next turn. Right, in terms of cards, every little of it is a gain. That's quite a useful card in this situation. Premonition of Danger, draw 3. Oh, this is the one where you can, yeah, you get to draw 3 hunt tiles and choose which one you want to get rid of. That'll be, I imagine that'd be incredibly powerful in Mordor, and there's lots of red tiles. Actually, yeah, in my game against Mark M, I played it when there were loads of red tiles and didn't draw a red tile, and thus increased my chances of hitting a red tile, which I believe I did in the coming turns. We've got a New Powers Rising. Okay, that's handy for like protecting this guy. Also potentially getting an attack on the Shire boosted up. I can't believe that the last 3 members of the Fellowship are Gandalf, Legolas, and Smeagol. Yeah, that is not the odd couple. That's the odd triple. Kills kid and ships. Fellowship good. A metric ton of eyes rolled. Okay, well this could open up some shenaniganery. FPMV turn, says Finale, indeed. I mean, if there's ever going to be a turn, it has to be now. We shall see. Yeah, 2 musters, though. Hard to do free military stuff when there's 2 musters and New Powers Rising. Ships of Great Draft is played. Corsairs, that allows the Corsairs to attack into MT. Long battle with the Witch King army. Lose all your Corsairs. See you in hell, Corsairs. And because if you lose all of one faction on the board at once, so for example, if they left 1 Corsair behind in Umbar, the Corsairs as a faction would have stayed in the game. Because they've all been wiped out, they're gone now. No more shippy action. That could be quite big. Oh, and then because Long Battle draws an event card as well, so then draws into Elven Cloaks. MT without its mega ship. So that could be huge, actually. That gets really huge. So Long Battle, I said it was quite a niche card, but perfect usage of it there by Vase. I'm not sure how powerful those Corsairs are, but I bet you 5 of those using some kind of card could just like fuck shit up. They were that Dawn's Relentless Assault against Daylight. Okay. Not super. I'd probably not actually do any Relentless at this point. Maybe 1. I'd either do 1 or 0. Goes for the 2. Okay. Against an army of this size, be a little bit wary. 1. 3 back. Yeah, now this army is melted. Not looking good. Press, why not? There's a good reason why not, because you might die. That's why not. Oh god, this I can see it happening. They are terrible. Okay. Not bad. No card back. Finale gets 3 hits. Okay, that's a good, they are terrible. And only, oh, yeah, very sad. I really thought that could have been a turning point there. Like, If that had gone like the kind of, bottom 25% of rolls for the shadow, you're kind of in sortie territory there. So I think that was fairly risky, but it's paid off. It's paid off for Venali. March of the Ents happens. Oh, hello. Look at these Ents. They're doing Enty stuff. So let's quickly read what Ents can do. So you're kind of basically doing what you do to Orthanc, but doing it to Minas Tirith. So I think you only get one roll of 3. Attack Witch King. 1. Oh, yeah, so you basically, so you get to roll 3 dice. Scoring a result of, so 1 hit against the Witch King. Not great. Not great. The Ents are also now out of the game. Right. And that's why this one little guy, I presume, like, it makes it such a waste to use March of the Ents on this one fella. So having a little blocker in Fords seems to have a lot of value, I guess. Minas Tirith, why not? Why risk it? And using a ring as well, I feel like this is just opening up to shenanigans. Like, this guy, because you played the ring now, that means this guy can definitely get Umbar this turn. Oh, no, you can't, because you've got, okay, you still got 1 muster. Okay, maybe not, but it just feels like you're playing a little too close in a game where, like, the free people, the shadow of like 90, probably this, if you play it safe, you've like got 95% chance of victory. I just don't think you need to flirt with fights like this or leaving this open. Just feel like you're kind of, Icarus is flying a bit too close to the sun here. New Powers Rising, Great Host against Heroic Death. Oh, good Heroic Death. So it's going to be 4 down to 2, but presumably the free people are going to get some hits. So it's not going to be a. I say presumably. Oh yeah, they do. They do. So it's not going to be a. So now this is bigger. Now he can sortie. Yeah, you got to try in a game with this desperate. You got to try. Plus, you with Bozza rolling on 4 dice, 2 rerolls. Is there a card that they can use? Not really. Boom. Don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. Oh. Well, that might be helpful. But now, yeah, I feel like Venali might have thrown the game there. Like, mustering happens. Oh, wait, dwarves. So, okay, I was trying to get them out of Sauron. Can't get them out of Sauron. Instead, musters. Yeah, good mustering, just to keep things safe. Draws into Saruman. So draws a faction card. Saruman is a neighbor, so draws an end card. Probably fishing for one of these guys' cards, I guess. Eagle card. Shadow lengthens. Okay, so now moving across the Helm's Deep armies over to here. Okay, if you can get that back under siege and then get these guys across, it might not be so bad, but you've lost a lot of Nazgul and you've lost a Witch King. So it is going to make things a lot more ponderous. Fellowship is flipped to Lothlorien. And we go on to turn number 9. Fear Fire Foes. I'm going to try and get through this a bit quicker because we're almost at an hour and we're only on turn 9. This is probably not going to do too many of these WoME and LOME vids because this is long. But I have enjoyed it. It's been fun. Right, so we've got mixed roll. Good fellowship. We're going to Mordor this turn at least. Not many musters though, which is presumably what you would have really wanted this turn as the 3 people. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, not a great roll. Yes. Oh, I would have tried to get these armies joined up to, I guess. Okay, between the 2 of them, you're hoping to just win the game. Fair enough. More mustering Minas Tirith. Armies grouped up. No more time for mustering. Right, every little gain is played. That's really nice. Draws into Grimbjorn. Isengard Elite. Is mustered in North Dunland. Maybe thinking of a go for the okay. Do we have more rings left? Yeah, I wonder if given the roles that the free people have had, if there was a move, a combination where you could have got the 4 cities. Anyway, the Fellowship moves, they're hit, that's a 2, random, Smeagol dies, which will get it's on the board. The Fellowship is now in Mordor. This cruel weather is still in hand. Oh, God. Gates are closed. Is removed. How can you remove gates are closed while the card's gone now? I can't see. Minas Tirith put on the siege. Hopefully, I guess they want to try and win. ASAP. Blue tiles added. Cruel weather's played. Lol. Another eagle is mustered. And Cans of Corpses also played. It gets no hits, and we go on to turn number 10. Lord of the Ring and Horde from the east, and Miracle Galadriel and Éomer. Bit late for Éomer. Bit late for Miracle Galadriel. Sad Galadriel. Fellowship is good. Lots of wills rolled. Okay, so big roll for the free people. Do a lot there. But Day Without Dawn has been played. Yes, I believe that was played earlier as a Relentless Assault. Fellowship moves again. They're missed. Definitely getting into Mordor this turn. A giant spider has appeared. 2 giant spiders have appeared. Could we have spider against eagle? I feel like that's one of those like weird YouTube videos where they just pit random animals against each other in a tank. Okay, so Elven Cloaks is played. Evil Things play in the first. Removal spiders to draw a hunt. Yeah, so spiders can now basically draw a hunt tile on to the hobbits. So they're hoping for a reveal. One reveal, very nice spider action. So this is the kind of stuff these cheeky little factions can do. Draws another tile, another 1. Gets corruption up to 5. More mustering in Lossnack and Dol Amroth. The Craft of Shelov is played. Now that so spiders can move, so spiders join up in North Dunland. And spiders have come a long way. And also Shelov goes into the pool. Another eagle is mustered. Minas Tirith is attacked. Not looking great though. Yeah, I think that's why I would have probably waited to get this army, because I just don't think this stack is going to be big enough to take Minas Tirith. I think you needed these 5s. So I would have tried to, for efficiency purposes, tried to get them across. Deadly Strife against Shield Wall. Let's see what happens. We've had this exact combo earlier in the game. And I think Vinali did exactly the same. Rolled 5. So this 5 minus 1, so 4, but 5 back. So this could be GG. I don't think you press though. Yeah, they don't press. Aragorn's on the motherfucking move. He's going to is he going to where is he? Which one's that? Anfalas. Minas Tirith is attacked. Can Aragorn want? Where's he go? Where is the king? Where's the king going? He's deserting us. For good reason, I'm sure. Is he going to try and take Orthanc? That would be pretty epic. Okay, we're going for Minas Tirith again. We've got a heroic death up our sleeves again. Last one just took a leader. We've got Devi of Orthanc. That's what you'd play, right? Devi of Orthanc against heroic death. So 3 hits. That's going to be a dead Boromir. And 4 hits back. Okay. Are we going to get the same thing again? Oh my god. It's again. Vase is doing it again. This is amazing. And, okay, you can't play Valor. I guess you're just hoping for the... Oh, from Loss. You got the 4 in Loss. Oh boy. Fierce Folk. Because there are 2 Dunlandings. Oh, so this is a defensive card. So the Dunlandings are acting as a meat shield now. Vase gets the 2 hits. I guess Finale gets one hit back, sacrifices the 2 fierce folk, and forces them to run away. So, well, this has been an epic defense of Minas Tirith. Yeah, great stuff. Decides to give up on it and take Peligir, and now presumably is going to try and get the Shire next turn. Oh, 3 people on the move. They just as they've taken Minas Tirith, they've now given up on Minas Tirith and heading towards Gileath. So are we going for the 4 victory points here? This is interesting. Mustering in Minas Morgul and Orthanc to protect the respective strongholds. We go on to 10-11. Give it to us. And Mustangs of Long Plan War drawn. Father of Trees, Bilbo Song and the Spirit of Mordor are drawn. Fellowship is now in Mordor. Pool is looking. Hunt pool is as follows. So it's, I would certainly say, a mixed pool. Some very good, some very bad. A lot of in between. So yeah, the in between ones aren't great. Lots of eyes and all the 3s somehow. Rarely see that. Fellowship hides. Has to choose a keeper die. Keeps the Palantir. Give it to us. So another red tile in the pool. Elven Rope, another blue tile in the pool. Stacked pool. More musterage in Moria. So yeah, Venali really wants to. Okay, so Skirmishes has gone there not to try and do shenaniganery. He's gone to try and protect Peligir. Understandably. Meanwhile, Venali wants to, if possible, take the Shire. However, the North are at war, and the North has a mega force pool. The spiders could help though. The spiders from Mars. Right, so joining up in Dol Amroth to protect, because that is another backdoor victory, potentially sneaking in there. And also moving something else. Lamedon to Dol Amroth and Andras to. Okay, so this Aragorn's making the march. Evacuating Orthanc. Oh, it's protecting Helm's Deep. Right. So yeah, so great. Attack Fords. Aragorn. No card. 6. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Man, he's going to liberate Helm's Deep. Incredible. The spiders are going for the Shire. Strider's going for Helm's Deep. He's taken. Oh, the double. Oh my god, he's taken Orthanc and Helm's Deep. So this guy, the guy who moved to Fords of Eisen ended up like having a negative. Like he didn't help. He actually like hurt more than he helped, because at least he could have held Orthanc. Now you've lost Orthanc and you've lost Helm's Deep. Oh my god, craziness all around. But at least the spiders are up to mischief. Maybe they're going to go for Grey Havens. And now we get to play Aemir. I said that card was too late. No, it wasn't. Just in time. Shire is now attacked. Bit late for Shire, to be honest. But he gets it cheaply. 1 back, though. Long, swift lines. Play if the Eagles are in play. Right, so that's Eagle mustering card thingy. Musters another Dunlending. In Western Met. We go on to turn number 12. There is another way. Captain Despair, Kindred of Glorfindel, Shadows of the Misty Mountains. Big cards. Not many dice left for the old Shadow here, it seems. Feels like the 3 people have had more dice than the Shadow in almost every turn the last few turns. Managed to roll 2 keeper dice for multiple turns without ever losing one, remarkably. Is that right? Has that been happening? Yeah, the Narya die and the Elrond die, I swear, have been in play for about 6 turns now. Fellowship moves. Red tile. Lovely. Fellowship, so at least it's the kindest red tile, if such a thing is possible. Lure of the Ring. Who's going to die? Legolas dies. He dead. Such a crazy game. Reinforcing Grey Havens. Mouth of Sauron is mustered into Moria, the OG Mouth of Sauron. Yep. Celeborn's Galadriel is drawn. Shadows on the Misty Mountains is played. Safe Path in the Dark, which means we can get rid of We Shall Get It, which is good. Armies are moving around. Okay, joining up armies in Moria by the looks of so it looks like what Venali is trying to do is go for Rivendell with this army, and this army. But the only problem with that is I suppose the free people can only get this up to 7 HP, which is still tricky. Still tricky. Shadows of the Misty Mountains does help. Maybe the Balrog can join if it's even still possible. If you've lost the Balrog die, I don't think you can bring the Balrog in at this point, can you? By chance or by foresight? Okay, draws, cycles, cards. Yeah, these armies are combining. Or the other problem with that is also you're leaving Shire quite vulnerable. So if you're reliant on the Shire victory points, I think it's quite likely the Grey Havens can take back Shire. Certainly combined with the Dwarfs, which are not at war, amazingly, given Gimli's been here all game and Mazarbul was never played. But yeah. Are you allowed to? As the arbiter of all things Warriors Middle-earth, I'm not sure you're allowed to muster a Corsair once they've been wiped off the map. I think that might be not possible. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, probably am completely wrong because I literally don't know this game very well. But I thought that once they were gone, they were gone. Maybe the Corsairs have a special rule. Lots of so the same thing. Trying to find cards. Probably looking for a particular card, perhaps trying to do some eagerly stuff. Because yeah, the Eagles could protect Rivendell. Because Eagles, they can go anywhere, man. They can do all sorts of crazy stuff because they're eagles. They can fly. They're basically like Nazgul. Faramir's Rangers. Okay, now we're going on to turn 13. The Dark Door. I'm getting so confused. Not on anyone's side. What the hell is this? No faction event can be called. Ooh! No faction event card or quarter battle card of the end duels can actually be played. Oh, yeah, that's really powerful in this situation because Eagles are strong. Fellowship hides. Dunlanding is manufactured in Western Met. Fellowship moves. Undoes. Dunlanding goes back. 3 reveal. I guess that was just an accident. 3 reveal because it's an eye tile. Gandalf dies. Gollum comes into play. So 1 step, 5 corruption. Not looking good for the Fellowship. They're going to need I mean, you've already hit 1 nasty tile, but with all these 3s in the box, 2 red tiles and a bunch of 3s and 2s, all the good. Well, you could just get a lucky run of blues potentially, but I'd say, well, Bilbo's song as well. There is Another Way and Bilbo's song. Okay, it's not unthinkable. Certainly not unthinkable, but it's going to be a rough ride, I would say, in Mordor. It's my sense. Big army combines in Hollin, heading up towards Rivendell. Attack Western Met. So this is trying to protect West Edoras, I guess. Old hatred. Well, old hatred has been, shall we say, rather poor this game. Phase decimates the Western Met guy. He doesn't get a hit back. Marching towards Rivendell. Mustering in Rivendell and in Western Met. So you're now the bloody Rohan fort. This game has just got out of hand. Yeah. It just shows that when you just, you said why not, Venali, twice. Why not? This is why not. Look what's happened. This is why not. Near Harada's mustering. Paths of the Dead. Paths of the Dead. You may move from Nenny to Eric. So this is basically new Deadman have done Harrow. And now the dead men are in play. So crazy stuff. Woof. 3 dead men. So the dead men they're less commonly seen, but they're pretty powerful. They can do big attacks, a bit like the Ents did earlier on Minas Tirith. They can do similar kind of stuff to that, I guess. But except they don't chain; they just move. All right, Rivendell's under siege. Wraiths of Fear is played. So remove one or more armies of the dead to move it up to an equal number of regions. They may eliminate one figure. So this is going to go and attack Pelargir now. Attack Pel. 1 hit. Stop. And then also, at the end of the last attack, the Shadow Army must retreat if possible. So again, it's a bit like that Dead Men I've done Harrow thing that moves the army away if you attack it into that army. So yeah. Technically, Pelargir... Is there no army unit? Does it count as an army unit? So it did take back Pelargir even though there's no army unit in there. I'm a little bit confused by that, but we'll roll with it. Attack Gothmog from Boromir. Where's Gothmog? Where's Boromir? Gothmog. Gothmog's going to die. All the minions are being hunted this game. Gondor's been completely retaken. Ringer's Mine goes in the pool. Turn 14. Okay, so I guess you probably... Do you attack straight into Umbar, maybe? Could be a cheap way of getting some VPs. You still got these dead men here doing... Well, they can't really do much now, but you can keep mustering them. Through a day and night as well. Very interesting. Strongly Guarded, which is a Deadly Strife card. I'm guessing it's probably not a good top card if it's a Deadly Strife card. Attack. Yeah, goes for Umbar. Cool. Oh wow, and Finale got like a death roll. Oh my god. So all Finale can do is move these guys here, move a Nazgul here. And there's only one Nazgul. Oh, because the other Nazgul is staying here. Okay. I mean, I probably would have moved more. Well, you can only move one other Nazgul. Maybe Finale forgot there was a sneaky Nazgul hiding up here. But I think at this point, you got to preserve survival over anything. Goes for Umbar, no card. Doesn't get the Vital 6 required. Can't press. Attacks Umbar from near Harad. Is Boromir going to die? Is there another heroic death? There is another heroic death. Goes to the shield wall, which is blocked. Finale gets a 6. Vase gets nothing back. So the Boromir attempt has not gone well. Draws a character card. Falcon from the Deep is drawn. Boromir. Oh! Through a day and a night. Into a sea day. Into Morannon. If you have Race of Fear or the Unit of Oil Strength, honestly, just say so, and I can see if I top dead Ringers Abroad in the next 2 draws. Oh, never mind. Not enough Demon. Breaking of the Fellowship. Puts Corruption up to 6. I think this game's over. Unless there's some special stuff that I'm unaware of. I think this game is over. And Finale doesn't know it yet. See what you got. I mean, Pits and Mortar's already been played. If there's Ring Wraiths in the deck, or some kind of sneaky stuff. Madness and Horror. Choose. And then recruit. Oh, mate, that's the card. The perfect card. Oh, my God. Gets 1 hit. Boromir lives. Wow. Craziness, man. Fellowship moves. No, sorry, Fellowship's flipped. Dunandings are recruit. Skirmishes are on the move because of whatever that card did. And we are on to turn number 15. Thanks, Elrond. Oh, Elrond gave an eye. See you later, Elrond. Yeah, okay, so we seem to have lost all of the dice now. Mithril coats, and now I guess Vase is hoping to actually go for the dunk again. I mean, he certainly stopped the military. Rivendell's back on the table. Deadly Strife against Daylight. Terrible Deadly Strife. Good attack back. Decides to press. Some wild pressing this game. I mean, Old Hatred, as we know, has been excellent this game. I'm absolutely sure that Old Hatred will roll a very useful 6 or will turn the tides of battle. I'm guessing it's just... Was it just... 4 back. Yeah, I think Benali might have tilted there. That was just a bit of a needless press. Like, we can just simulate the 2-2-1 plus 1 reg plus Balrog. Since I assume that's what we're going to do. So this army can just go south and just take Moria, because this guy's going to come back, and then it's one guy with the Moria, because Balrog is worth like a bajillion dudes. The armies start marching, he starts going in, the armies come down, the armies come up, the army gets in, he attacks in. Edoras is attacked to try and take it back. They press, they fight, they have a stupid fight. Okay, eventually Edoras holds. Moria's attacked, no card, no card. Vase can't, no one can roll 6. 1 hit from a 5. Press. Just needs a 6, and that's GG. Woo! Tiring, yeah, man. Tell me about it. Yeah, apologies for I had to skip over a lot of stuff that game because there's just so much going on. But that was a great game. Very, very fun. Lots going on. Lots going on when you play Warriors of Middle-earth. Yeah. So hopefully to those of you that don't play Warriors or know Warriors, that made sense. You got to see some of the fun action. In terms of displaying what the various factions can do, every faction got involved in this game, which is great. You know, the Eagles did stuff, the Ents did stuff, not very well. These guys did. The Dead Men came into play. The Spiders from Mars showed up and, you know, revealed the Fellowship. The Dunlandings did absolutely fuck all. But yeah, it was really fun. Thank you for sharing, Finale. I do think you kind of threw the game by being overly zealous in Minas Tirith. I think you could have comfortably won the game if you just chilled out a little bit more and not rushed that. But really, it made it much more fun, and it made it a great comeback from Vase. It's so rare to see you know, usually when you see an army coming around from here to around to here, you think, nothing's really going to come of that. But it did. It did. It very much did. Just, yeah, all sorts of shenanigans and nonsense. Gimli just chilling the whole game, just biding his time, hanging out with his dwarven buddies. And I personally, I found it it was great just to see more WoME stuff happening. Look at this, death to the Foregoyle, his will and malice. All these, no one's on, not on anybody's. I don't even know what that is. Okay, I think I looked at that one earlier. Great stuff. All right, I'm tired now. See you all later. Ciao, ciao. Actually, no, let's look at the stats. I always try and look at... Okay, meaningless. I's and P's and A's. Lots of Palantirs. Yeah, it doesn't really say that much. Cool. All right. I love you. Bye.